I am market prepping again. Yes, because this is what I do now. But I actually thinking about getting a job. But still, I'm still going to be doing this. Um, so I have my next market coming up is in a week from now. I think it might be. It's next Thursday, which would be the 3rd, I think. I want to say that it is. Ooh, is it going to be 7 days from today? Well, today's the 26th, so there's only 30. There's 31 days in May, so it means there's 30 days in June, so that's 4. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. I got a week. I gotta get to stitching. So, okay. So this is going to be like the festival for my city's 4th of July, which is kind of been a to do. It's like it's been an event for quite a few years. Uh, entertainment, all kinds of things, and then there's only going to be like 40 vendors for the market, and I just really put my stamp on it. I was like, yes, I want to do this event, and I expect at least $1,000 to be made at this event. And so I was telling myself, okay, well, I need to have $2,000 worth of at least $2,000 worth of product, and I did. I counted my inventory down. I did that the other day, and I was looking at it, and I was like, I already have $2,000. Actually, I have over $2,000 worth of product, but it's not a cohesive inventory. So well, it's a lot of a little bit of this, a little bit of that, one or two of this, one or two of that. And I sold a lot of my bigger plushes, and then a lot of my smaller plushes are like dwindling, So I really just don't have a very cohesive looking inventory. Like, I'm wanting it to be look a little bit fuller. So I'm really kind of working on that right now. I've been working on these strawberry keychains, I feel like for days, because it's like every time I turn around, I got to stop and go do something, or I have to go somewhere, or I got to go do something for somebody. And it's just like life has been getting in the way. It's so been getting in the way. Like my roommate, the one who had the stroke, it's like today she ate up like 2.5 hours of my time. Yes, I'm complaining. I am complaining because it just was like she just she needed my help with with her phone, and I was like, I don't know how to do this stuff. I don't know what you did. She did something to her phone. We cannot figure out what she did to it. We cannot get into it. She messed it up, and I'm like, I don't know how you did. What did you do to it? I was like, okay. So just try to be really calm and be very nice to her, and just try to figure out like what she did. And we even called her phone service provider and trying to see like what she did to it. And but she saw this video on Instagram, and it was like top 5 things you need to do to your phone, to stop this, that, and the other. And she did it, and now she can't figure out what she did to it because she has short-term memory loss. And I was like, okay, lesson learned. Don't believe everything that you see on the internet. You shouldn't be messing with things you know nothing about. I was like, oh my gosh, bless her heart. Yes, it's that other bless your heart. Let's see who's here. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, goodness. But I made these strawberry keychains, and they're not finished, but basically you got an idea of what they are. And I made 6 of them last time, and I took them to market this last weekend, and I sold 3 out of the 6. And so that basically is almost like my bestseller. So, but they have like a little strawberry flower on them attached to them. And right now I'm finishing up the last 4 of these that I made. And so I really wanted a dozen in total. And I was selling them for $9. And they people just did not have a problem buying them for $9. And apparently, strawberries really sell well. It's the first time I've had strawberries at a market, and they sold quite well for me. So I'm thinking, like, okay, anything strawberry based, inspired is going to be a good thing. Actually, I've done strawberry turtles, and the strawberry turtles did sell well. The strawberry sea turtles, so they did pretty good for me. I don't have any right now. Right now, I have rainbow turtles. And so I'm debating, like, should I make a strawberry turtle? It wouldn't be that difficult to make a strawberry turtle. I've got the little baby turtles, and I'm gonna make some more of those. Did I decide I was gonna make some more of those? I have quite a few because I had made extras, and I think I made quite a few of the baby turtles. But I got I'm kind of covered over in turtles right now. I've got like 3 rainbow turtles, which are kind of like a medium. I got a slightly larger watermelon turtle. And then I got a bunch of little baby turtles. I've got a lot of turtles, and I'm like, I don't want to be like turtled out. I don't want to be like totally consumed with turtles. But turtles really sell well. People love them. You know. Hi. And then so I'm debating. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Or maybe I should make little tiny ones that are like this big, and then turn them into keychains. And but it's like I just add that to the laundry list of things I've got to make. But anyway, I'm making this strawberry flower right now. But anyway, so I am also going to tell you about the market I had this last weekend. So I did it at the farmer's market, and I tell you what, the people next to me, they did a video on TikTok during the week, and they blew up on TikTok, and uh, they were selling matcha lattes, okay, and the line out of that booth was crazy. It was always about 4 to 6 people deep in line all the time for that matcha latte. And I was like, I've heard about these matcha lattes. I hear that they're really good, but I think matcha is going to be one of those things that either you like it or you don't. And especially if it's a high quality matcha, then it's supposed to be really really good. And but they were selling these matcha lattes like hand over fist. And I went over there about 1 o'clock, and they were sold out. Or was it noon or something like that? They were sold out. They were completely sold out, and I was like, "Holy smokes, that's amazing!" And I was right next to them, and I was also really kind of close to the stage as well. So where I was located was a decent location, but right across from me, directly across from me, there's another crocheter, and at the end over there by the fruit stand, across from the fruit stand, there was another crocheter. Now, I didn't get to stop and look at the other crocheter by the fruit stand. So, um, but I did see out of the corner of my eye that she had more clothing and things like that. So she had more of those types of things. Now, the lady across the way from me, she was very, very sweet. She's very nice. She came over and she was looking at my stuff. I went over there, looked at her stuff. She had some really great stuff. She had some Marias, and she had a Jesus, and I was like, oh, those are great. I mean, I've never seen anybody do a Jesus. I've seen Marias, but I haven't seen Jesus. And but like her Marias are beautiful. I really like seeing the Marias. They're so beautiful. Um, it's just like they're just really done very well and elaborate, and they're just vibrant, and they're just really a beautiful doll. Um, I had seen another friend of mine over at the Garland Market, and the one that's on the square. She's a friend of mine. She does crochet too. But we got to know each other by being both vendors at that market, and now we're Facebook buddies and everything like that. But that's the first time I ever seen anybody do a Maria doll, and they're just beautiful. She had like a smaller version, then she had one made out of plush yarn, and I was like, man, those are so cool, you know. So I was like, yeah, those are really really neat. Like I'm thinking like maybe I should make some to go with a market I'm thinking about doing in November. There's a market at a Catholic church that I did. I've done it 2 years in a row. I don't make a lot of money at that market, but we'll see. I mean, the person who runs it is super nice, and I really like her. And the proceeds go to help pay for their food pantry, which I'm a little passionate about. I believe in helping, helping them out in that regard. Anybody can come up and get any kind of food out of their food pantry and everything like that. So I'm just like, you know what? I think it would be for a good cause. It also gives me some exposure. Also make me just a regular vendor, and I'm kind of that kind of person that I like to be. I like to be a dedicated person. I like to, like I'm always at the market on the square. I'm already starting to be a regular vendor over there at the farmers market and everything like that. So I'm just trying. I don't want to. I want to establish a presence in places. It's where people know where to find me, and so I think that's a good thing, in my opinion. I was talking to another lady about this concept at um, at the urban market, and then she's the one who told me about the farmers market. And I really like the farmers market. Also, the farmers market's very affordable. It's only like $30 for the spot, and it's during the day. It's like from 9 to 1. Is it 9 to 1? Yeah, 9 to 1, and it's hot. It's hot this time of year, so you really are just, you know, you're just hot in the morning, and in the afternoon you're not really like blistering hot. Unlike at 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock during that time of day, it's too hot to be outside, and so it's not so bad to be in the morning. But I just really feel like there's like 1,002 crocheters out there, and I just started this at the wrong time. I really wanted to do it back in like 2018. I really wanted to do that. I really wanted to get started doing that in 2018, but I just didn't have enough, I don't know, confidence in myself to think that I could do it. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. Um, but I'm doing it now, and it's taught me a lot. It really has taught me a lot. Okay, where am I at? Okay. So, also at last week's market, I got a commission. So somebody wants me to make her a ruffle hat for her cat. Have you seen these things? They're like cat hats. Yes, they are a thing. And I'm like, good luck. Your cat's gonna let you put a hat on it. You know? I wish I had a cat. I miss having kitty cats. Anyway, so, for sure, I want to get that done. And then I had another lady come up, and she was like, do you have any owls? And I was like, I sure don't. And I was like, you know what? I need to make owls. And that's the thing, it's like birds. Birds are so popular with a lot of people. And I'm talking about like flamingos, penguins, chickens, um, you know, owls, um, peacocks, all those are birds. People freaking love them. I even had one lady come up to me right about the Halloween time, and she's like, do you have any crows? And I was like, oh, I don't. So I'm kind of thinking like, well, maybe I should make some crows or try to make a raven or something. A blackbird. So maybe I should try to make a blackbird. And you know, I've already made a blue jay for somebody uh, last year. Yeah, I made it for somebody last year. They wanted me to make them a blue jay, and I did. And it was a commission. So hopefully, I'm going to get some more commissions coming up with the holiday season, and I'm already starting to think Halloween because Halloween's already starting to become the forefront of my mind. Sorry, to itch my nose. And then I'm thinking like, okay, Halloween. Once we get over this hump of Fourth of July, we can go ahead and slide into Halloween season. Halloween, fall, you know, getting ready for back to school. And I was sitting there thinking, like, okay, well, what could I make for back to school? And I've thought about this before, like bento box covers, um, lunch bags, things like that. So if anybody wants to start carrying their own bentos, you can, you know, I would have like a cover for it. And then, like, I'm trying to think, like, if there's an affordable or inexpensive bento that I can buy somewhere. And I'm thinking like, well, maybe Amazon, you know. So I'm thinking that would be really, really cool. Is, you know, if I had like a bento cover box and make it out of cotton, of course. I mean, I guess you could use acrylic and put a cool handle on it, you know, and make it to where people can, you know, carry bentos to school or, you know, or to work or whatever. I think that would be a really cool looking thing to do. And um, of course, you know, last year I did a back to school bee and I put a backpack on a bee. So I might do that again. And I only made 3 last year and I sold 2 out of 3 up until a couple weeks ago. I finally sold my last back to school bee. And then I made some pencil keychains and I've sold all 3 of those. I only made 3. So whenever I do holiday based things and, you know, or something that's inspired coming up, I only want to do a little bit. I don't want to do too much of a holiday thing because then you'll be stuck holding that stuff if it doesn't sell well. Now, sometimes that stuff will sell well, but sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes you're just kind of stuck holding it. Like I've still got 2 ghost bees or boobies from last year. And so they're still kind of hanging out, you know. Um, I think I have 1 lesbian left, you know, and that was from last year. You know, I didn't make any pride bees or lesbian bees this year. So, I mean, we're almost done with June. I'm just not going to mess with it. You know, if somebody asks me to make one, then yes, I will make one, but I'm not going to make any more of those types of bees. I'm thinking about making some bee keychains, like some smaller ones, um, just like little round ones, and then, you know, have some of those. I think those would do well. Um, I was gonna make some bald eagles, and then I remember someone also wants a possum. So I got to figure out how to make a possum or find a pattern for a possum. I know they're out there. They're like a dime a dozen nowadays. So these are just among things on my list. I also need to finish. I need to make some more ducks. Ducks, hands down, are one of my best sellers. A yellow duck or a mallard duck. And I do have a friend of mine who wants me to make her a mallard duck, and I already made it for her. And then I think I'm need to make some more. So those mallard ducks, they're about yay big, and they're just stinking adorable. And the pattern that I use is the Sweet Softies duck pattern, and it's just cute. It's simple. It's easy. I can make them in less than an hour, and they sell really. They sell really well. Although I've been hanging on to those flower ducks for a long time, and I think what it is people just don't like that super bright yellow yarn, and it's like almost fluorescent yarn. It's the Big Twist Posh, and it's like this almost fluorescent yellow. And I was like, oh, these would be great for the flower ducks. And like, no, nobody likes them. I made 4 and nobody's bought any. And like maybe they will. Hopefully, fingers crossed. they're going to sell over at the market um, in next week. And then I sold my cows, and I was, I sold all my cows. All my cows are gone. Those have been sold, and I just don't. A lot of my $25 items have just been gone, and people are not having a problem buying them, and I've been selling those a lot lately. So about the $25 mark is really kind of a sweet spot for my mid-sized plushies. I do have a larger sized hippopotamus, and he takes me a while. He's like $45. Actually, I should charge more for him, but I don't. He's $45. Um, and, if I was charging myself $12 an hour for that one, as for last year's prices, he probably would be $45. But if I'm charging myself $13 an hour that I'm, charging myself at, then he's going to be in about the $50 range. So I just have a feeling no one's really going to buy him for $50. And then I made another blue hippo, but he's like the smaller, rounder hippo that's got like the bobble leg feet and everything like that. I made one, and he's a little bit big, bigger than the other hippos that I have like that. And he's like $19, so hippos take a while. They take time. They're not, and they're not a inexpensive thing to make. Not that I have seen. I guess depending on what pattern that you use, but like I've used two different patterns, of course, two different styles of hippos, but they really take a little bit of time to make. But I imagine that somebody's just going to be, someone's going to say, I gotta have the hippo. So I made one for my niece's baby, my great nephew, and for his birthday, and he turned out really cute. So that was the first standing hippo that I had made. Okay. Oh, there's my hair's getting stuck in there. So, I'm trying to think, what else? I did make a little bit more money than, say, this is the most money I've ever made at the farmer's market. I think that there were like two other, like another, I think there were like 4 crocheters in total at that market, I think. And the fact that she had 3 of us in one side of the market, because it's bisected on 2 sides, and there's a stage in the middle, it's kind of like a long strip, and it's only like 47 vendors, 47 vendor spots. But anyway, to have 4 of us there, that's a good portion. That's like 10% of us to be crocheters. Now there's always, sourdough. There's always bakers. The people next to me were bakers. So there's always somebody selling a baked good. There's always somebody selling sourdough. There's always a crocheter, or some kind of food vendor. There's always a jewelry maker. There's always these types of people there, just people who do like the t-shirts and things like that. You know, these are the ones that are just I always see. My one of my other roommates trying to convince me to get into doing microgreens, growing greens, and selling them at farmers market. And I'm like, first I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. It's just not my jam. It's just like, I don't want to grow greens. It's just like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be consumed in. But I'm starting to think differently. Like, well, what if I can grow greens? Like, what if I grow baby greens or microgreens and baby greens? I've got all the stuff for it. We've got all the equipment. you know. I'm thinking like, well, maybe I can, maybe I can grow some greens, um, different varieties, mixes and blends and things like that. So it's an idea, it's a concept that I'm tinkering with in my head. But I'm not that good of a gardener. I'm more so I'm so concentrating on crocheting and then doing anything, like anything in the house whatsoever. I do a little bit of gardening out back, and I'm trying to do that too, and I'm not doing very good at it. Like, not very well. Like, my green bean plant's doing okay, but like I had all these seedlings and I just like killed them all. I didn't kill them all, but a good half of them are dead. They did not survive me, not putting them out at the right time or misplanting them. I don't know what I just I did have an issue with aphids for a little while there. They had gotten in my house, so I had a problem with aphids on my okras. I lost an okra. All of my cucumbers, which I was really hoping I was going to get, they died. The only thing I got left are tomatoes and okra. Like, my zucchini died. I only have, out of the 6 thyme plants I planted, one lived and it's just barely hanging on. It's like I'm not a good gardener. you know? And I'm like, I got it. There's so much that needs to be done. I got to do so much more. Like, I need to go out into the yard and do more. So maybe I'll do some more this afternoon. No, I can't. I don't have any bug spray. My mosquitoes are vicious. These are the most bloodthirsty mosquitoes ever on the face of the planet. They are so bad out here in my yard. They are awful. And they love me. And so I have my bug spray coming in from Amazon, my bug repellent. And the only one that I like to use is the Murphy's. And if you've never used Murphy's, it's really, really good. It's made from lemon eucalyptus oil. It's pretty darn good. And now I do mix my own concoction of essential oils to repel bugs, and it works for the most part. But sometimes those mosquitoes are vicious, and I have to really like oil myself up to go outside. But if I use that Murphy's, I can just spray it on me, and I'm pretty good for a little while until I start sweating, and then it will start to wear off. Okay, slip stitch. So it's not too bad. Like, all of a sudden my sinuses decided they were going to drain while I'm talking. But anyway, so I do have a to-do list concerning what I need to make, so on and so forth. I need to add bald eagles to that too, so I think bald eagles would be a good sell. I'm going to make love cats and love puppies. Hopefully I'll be able to make some in keychain size as well. But I think the love cats and love dogs or love puppies will be a really good seller, because where we live, like, people love their dogs. And there's like all my neighbors have dogs. Like, people on both sides of me, behind me, off to the side of me, catty corner, they got dogs. Everybody's got a dog, And the other day I went walking around my block, and these people had these 2 chihuahuas, and they were determined to try to get me. Like, they were like literal ankle biters. I'm not joking. They were after me, and I passed by their house twice because I have a loop. And this, they come out and he's trying to bite me. Little vicious rat dog. He's trying to bite me. You know, and I think Chihuahuas are cute, but not when they're biting me. Little rat dogs. You know, I don't mind a little dog. It's just like so long as he's a sweet dog and not like a mean little stinkwad. Now my neighbor on the other side, over here, um, they've got 4 dogs over there, and one of them is a giant poodle, and he's gorgeous. He's a good-looking dog. I like him. He's sweet. He's a sweet dog. You can tell he's smart, and you can tell he's sweet. Like he wouldn't hurt anybody. And then there's another dog that looks, really pretty. She's a big dog. And then they have like this little Yorkie dog, and that's a mean little dog. Little dogs have it. They can be really mean. They can be really sweet, or they can be really mean. Not that I don't like dogs, but I think I like cats a little bit more than I like dogs. But don't get me wrong, dogs are nice. They have a different kind of joy to them than cats. Did I not cut this right? I did not. But like whenever I go to visit my friends and they have dogs, I'm always loving on their dogs. Cats are like, I'll let you pet me today, but don't expect this to be a regular event. That's kind of how cats are. Petting a cat. Okay, so that's my second flower. Okay, where's my third center? Did I drop it? I don't want to make another center. There it is. I think that's it. Yes, okay. Okay. I keep knocking stuff off. Any hoozle. Cut that off. Put that over there. Okay, as soon as I am done with these flowers, all I got to do is sew them onto the strawberries, and I will be done with those. I'll just have to put on the keychains, which are in the other room, which is fine. I can finish that up. I won't mark that off the list, but at least it will be made. And even if I'm at the market and I'm putting the keychains on at the market, I'm okay with that. But I need to really concentrate and try to get things done. And I'm sorry that I didn't do a live on Tuesday. I was out and about doing errands. I actually went to Hobby Lobby and I purchased some more yarn. It's a lot of the same stuff I always buy. I don't buy anything new or anything different. I bought some colorways and some, more of that velvety smooth to make more ice cream cuties. And I'm going to make, out of the ice cream cuties, I'm going to make strawberry and mint chocolate chip. There we go. Mint chocolate chip. And I cannot find any brown in the velvety smooth other than the Aran weight. So I don't want to make like a chocolate one. Um, and I don't think I have any brown in, so that's purple. I keep knocking the yarn off. I don't think I have any in brown. It's velvety smooth. And then I might, but I don't think I do. I might have some up here, but I'm not sure. In the parfait. I've got, this is pink. I've got lots of, I got enough yarn right now. I got enough to hold me down. And I just need to start working through a lot of this and working it back before I buy more. Anyway, I'll get back to this flower. 2, 3, 4. But I'm using the brown velvety smooth to make the cones, but I have to go up a hook size. I mean the velvety smooth Aran, because they don't have it in the 5 weight, they only have it in the 4 weight. So I go up a hook size, which kind of makes it a little bit looser at the bottom, but it's not that noticeable. I just go up a half size. So I think I go from I go from a 4mm on up to a 4.5mm for that, just to help make it look like it's less seamless. Because honestly, once you put them side by side, it's really not that noticeable in thickness. It is a little bit, but not too much. And I did buy some more of the white velvety smooth and Aran weight for mini chickens, like the little ones about this big. So I have some that's a little, that's the Adorable, which is just like velvety smooth. It's just the baby version, the baby bee. And I did make keychains with that for when make chickens with that when made into keychains, and they're slightly bigger. And I think I'm gonna keep it doing like that, and then I'm gonna make with the Aran weight. I'm gonna make the little chickens and keep those in the claw machine. They'll be slightly smaller, but I think making them into keychains and having them slightly bigger, I think is better. And then I can charge like an extra $1 more for them, and I think that would be okay. So, but the chickens inside the claw machine hit. I'm also doing the axolotls. The little baby axolotls are like this big. Excuse me. They're perfect for my claw machine. Like the claw picks them up really, really well. And I also turn those into keychains as well. And I just charge $1 extra more for the keychain addition to that. But I think people really like seeing the little axolotls inside the claw machine, and that's just going to be a hit. I need to make a whole bunch of those little tiny animals for the claw machine, because I have a feeling that's going to be a big hit as well. I wish I have somebody to help me with that that holiday market that's coming up on the 3rd. It's just so I can, have people do the claw machine and also help customers, if they have questions or looking, because it can get really, really busy. If it's anything like the Christmas on the Square, this is going to be a good event. And I'm going to assume that it is. And like the whole square is going to be blocked off. The streets are going to be blocked off. It's going to be a good event. Pray that it's not going to rain. I need to look at the forecast. I haven't even looked at that and seeing what's going to happen with that. So, yeah. There's so many different little things I want to do. Um, that I need to start working on. Ooh, I just had an idea. Like for back to school, I will make like an apple amigurumi and then put little legs on it. It would be really cute. But the legs would be like green and white striped legs. You know, wouldn't that be adorable? And like little brown or black feet. You know, that would be super cute. And it would be like something he could sit on, you know, on a teacher's desk or something. That would be really cute. I think that would be adorable. That's what I'm thinking. All right, get in there. Hey, Carrie, how's it going? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I've just been really busy. Um, doing markets, getting ready for markets. But also just life. You know, I got the new roommate. I got my current roommate. So I've got two roommates now, and they're both elderly. So I'm kind of taking care of them. You know, I do like a bulk of the cooking. I do a bulk of the cleaning. You know, I do the gardening. You know, and then, just being patient with them too. It's just the way it is, and you know, just life in general. It's just been a lot lately. It really has been a lot lately. Um, so just trying to deal with things. But I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. I'm all right. I'm doing okay. I can be in a worse situation. Um, I get a little frustrated with things sometimes, but I just like, calm your ass down. It's fine. Everything's okay. I'll be alright. It's a temporary situation. That's what I always tell myself. It's temporary. This is not a forever thing. Yeah. She's a former coworker of mine, and we were friendly, but we weren't like super close or anything like that. But she had a stroke, and she didn't have any children. Okay, and she's an older lady. She's like she had a stroke last fall, and so she's just really hard up. She just get to the point where she couldn't work. She was in the hospital, and she couldn't work. She lost her vision in her right, the peripheral vision on her right hand side. So she really doesn't see well. And then the part that she had a stroke in, it affected the part of her brain that processes reading, you know, so she's had to learn how to read again. And it really, really frustrates her, bless her heart. Bless her heart. It really, really frustrates her because she's like, I used to be a good reader. I used to read like books and novels and things like that, and I could spell like a dream. She's like, now she just she gets all her letters jumbled up and mixed up. It's amazing, you know, to see somebody going through this transition, you know, to be not quite what they used to be from their former selves, you know. So it also has really gotten me not to want to be in that kind of position myself. So I'm just kind of been trying to make sure that I eat healthier and get up and move around and go do things, and I'm trying to be more healthy, more exercises and, you know, like that. Stress management. Stress management is a big deal with that too, because if you were stressed out, you retain fat. So it causes, you know, blockages, things like that. So trying to keep the stress down is it's been very, very challenging because I'm trying to make money for, you know, to get, you know, make things for my market and things like that, and it's been very, very challenging because everybody requires so much of my time, and summer has just been extremely busy for me, and it's just like it's hard to convey like how that is for me right now. So right now I'm just trying to get something done. Like this morning, my friend, you know, she had messed up her phone. And for like 2.5 hours, we were jacking with her phone, you know, and trying to figure out, like, what the hell did you do? What did you do to your phone? She's like, I don't know. I was like, no, don't, please, don't do this anymore. We can't figure it out. So it's been an interesting time dealing with that. Interesting time. But hopefully I'm going to get a lot done. I've got a big market coming up, and I am trying to work on getting that too. And it's going to be a night market, which means that it's going to run, excuse me, from 3 to 10 o'clock. So yeah, it's going to be hot until the sun goes down. But I hope to God that the weather's not going to be bad. I'd rather it be hot than rainy. You know what I mean? No, wait, that means I have angina. But you're like, shut up, Jamie. I have a big heart. Wait, that means I got angina. I don't want that. I don't want the stress of having a big heart. Uh, mm, mm, mm. Yeah, but this her time here is temporary. Um, so we're trying to get her situated in a better situation. But she's staying with me rent free, you know. Um, she does buy groceries, so that's a boon. You know, that helps me with the grocery bill a little bit, and that's nice. Um, so you know, but that's the thing is like, you know, if somebody needs help, you know, it's okay to help them. Um, I have other people in my life who are like Why are you helping this person? Able to help. How many times have people helped me? And this is my turn. This is my way of helping somebody else. Pay it forward. And people help me out all the time. And it's okay to help other people. And then that's you know it's not a bad thing to do. And sometimes it's hard to convey that to somebody because they see me struggling, they see me going through all these things, and it's just like, well, it's okay, it's a temporary situation, it's not a permanent thing. And it's hard now, but later on it'll be better. It'll be better for me, it'll be better for them. you know um, and this is also a moment of growth, to grow as a person, and that's okay. Sometimes you have to put yourself in that mindset. It's like, this is going to be hard. I don't know if, but it's okay to say no to things too. It's like, if you know that you can't handle this, um, then don't accept it. But I mean, I really, really didn't want to take on this situation, um, but I did, and I'm growing from it. Now, if I'm growing to be a better person, maybe. Am I growing to be a bitter person? Bitter. Am I growing better or bitter? It could go either way. Either way, it's gonna happen. No, just kidding. I don't want to be one of those bitter old people that that doesn't like anybody or distrusts anybody. I know people like that, and I want to enjoy life. I want to enjoy people being around me. I don't want it to scare people off and let them know that they are not welcome or unwanted. That's not life. You know, that's existing. That's not life. And my poor friend, she is going through such a hard time. I know she does. She's so frustrated. She gets very, very frustrated. And then she comes to me and she talks to me about her problems, and I'm just like, ugh, I don't know if I can handle your problems right now. I just, like, I'm so done up with everything else right now. And then I'm like your therapist too. And I'm like, you need a psychotherapist. You don't need me. You need to go see somebody else. Talk to them about your issues. They may give you better advice than I ever could. Hmm. He is not doing so hot. He he's lost a lot of weight. He's um yeah, he's not doing so hot right now. He has his good days and his bad days. I think, like, yesterday was not a good day for him. He was really having a rough time with it. Today was a little bit rough, but not as bad as yesterday. Yesterday was really rough on him. Um, we assume, because he won't go to the doctor, we assume he has an ulcer, or his ulcer has acted up again. He had an ulcer that ruptured back in 2012. He had to go to the hospital for that one. This one, is, he's it's just not doing. We think he's got an ulcer. Um, he's lost a lot of weight. He was even eating meat, and he's a vegetarian. He's always been a vegetarian for a very, very long time. He started eating meat. He had cooked meat for him for a while, and so he couldn't handle eating the meat because I guess his body just wasn't used to it. Like, it takes a lot of effort to digest heavy proteins, things like that. And so he just wasn't used to that. So it took, and then, also on top of that, um, he wouldn't eat pork. Um, he he didn't want to eat a lot of beef because beef was just really, really hard to digest. So, he didn't want to eat fish unless it came from the Atlantic Ocean. Yes, he's that, like, damn picky. Okay, because he was afraid of fish from the Pacific Ocean because of Fukushima. Okay, and then so it would just kind of left us to eating like chicken and turkey, and it's just like, I mean, how much, like, you get tired of eating chicken and turkey all the time, and so it was just like, okay, some some rough stuff. And so so he's just like, you know what, I'm not gaining any weight. I'm just gonna go back to being a vegetarian. And I was like, oh, fine. And then a couple weeks ago, new roommate went with her to the doctor, to her GP, and he's like, girl, you got heart failure. And she's like, heart failure? He's like, yeah. It's like, she'd been in the hospital with the stroke and everything since October, and it's like June, and they're just now telling her she's got heart failure. And I'm like, what? And then he put her on this. She's supposed to be, this is what he said. He said, fruits, vegetables, water. That's all that you can have. And I was like, vegan. And so I've been doing vegan diet with her, and like, so the entire house right now is eating vegan. Now I eat cheese on occasion. I'll eat butter. I'll make butter for the male roommate. Anything with butter, and I'll feed him eggs. But she's just strictly eating vegan, and I get on her ass all the time about it. You know, because one of her friends came and picked her up and took her out to the doctors and everything, and then they went to Chick-fil-A, and I was like, I was all over her butt about it. I was like, you know what? You can't have your freebie fish day now, because the doctor said she could have fish twice a week. I was like, well, you're not getting fish now. You're not going to get fish until next week. I was all over her butt about it. And then she went shopping the other day without me. And then she came back. She comes walking in with like lemon fried pies, and I'm like going, what the hell is this? But but they're vegan, and I'm like, I don't care. It's a goodie. It's a sweet. You're not supposed to have that many sweets. Come on. This is why you have heart failure. This is why you have a blockage. This is why you had a stroke. Come on. I was all over her butt about it. And I told her, I said, this is why I'm getting all over your case about it, because I want you to be healthy. And she's already lost some weight, which is good. She's lost some weight. And the other day we went walking to the store. We didn't have to stop as much because she's got also a breathing problem. And because she's lost weight, she's not having to stop as much, to take a break while walking to the store. And she's been doing so much better. And stamina's coming back, your breathing is getting better because you're not holding on to that weight as much, and you're doing better. Let's keep it up. And then she turns around, she buys these fried pies, and I was like, oh girl, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. This is not copacetic. Just don't. Just don't. I said, you can have one a week. That's it. You know. So sometimes you got to be on top of people. And you know what? If she's not going to do it for herself, her other friend doesn't live here, so I'm the only one who's going to be on top of her like that. And she knows, and I told her, I said, look, I'm not doing it trying to do this to be mean. I'm doing this from a place of love. I'm just trying to help you out. I want you to get healthy, And she's like, but everything tastes, this, that, and the other. I said, look, I'm a good cook, and I'm a good cook. I'm making vegan for you, okay? I'm making vegan for the entire, I'll even eat the vegan, I've actually started to lose some weight too, so which is really good. Now, if I can just get down to a certain point, I'd be really happy. But I'm trying to go out walking more and, be more active and doing things. So it's good. It's good for all of us, in a weird kind of way. It's working out, okay? It's working out in its own bizarre way. But she and I had loaded up on all this meat, so I've got a freezer full of like chicken and ribs. And it's just sitting there. And I'm like, I don't want to cook it in front of her. But she's going to go visit her cousin over the weekend. And, in a few weeks. I'm like, I'm going to break out the ribs. I'm going to get my rib going. I got some barbecue ribs out. Salad. There we go. Potato salad. Make some potato salad ribs. We're good. Hi, Lydia. How are you? Hi, Catnaps. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to party it up. When she's gone, I'm like, because I don't want to eat ribs in front of her, because I know she's going to be looking at the ribs and going, what are you eating? Ribs? Something you can't have. I guess I could take them to my mom's house and have my mom cook them for me. She'll cook my ribs. She'll be happy to. But I make really good ribs. I like them. I thaw them out, and I have like this dry rub I put on them. And then I cook them in the Instant Pot or pressure cooker, call it. I call mine the pressure cooker because it's not an Instant Pot. But they work out really good in the Instant Pot. And they cook in about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and they're pretty tender. And then I brown them off in the underneath the broiler with a little barbecue sauce on them. And sometimes I make my barbecue sauce, and they're pretty dang good. They're good ribs. And then yesterday morning she was away at an appointment. I broke out the bacon. I was eating the bacon. She was there to smell it. See? I'm a nice person. I'm not eating meat in front of her. She's like, bacon. I'm like, yeah, I know. Bacon is good. What does this say? All right, see you later. Thanks for popping in. Hope you feel better. Okay, I got 3 flowers down. Oh no, that's my fourth flower. Alrighty. See, time flies when you're having fun. Let's see. I don't even know what time it is. I don't have my alarm set up for 4 o'clock, so I don't know if it's 4 o'clock yet or not. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's tighten all this up. Alright, so I've got 4 strawberry flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, where's the other one? Here it is. So I've got all 4 strawberry flowers, and I'm going to sew them onto my strawberry keychains. These were a big hit. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sell it. And the dino nuggets. Oh, I got a story. The dino nuggets. Okay, so apparently those are really a popular thing. So this girl walks up, working the 11th hour of, the market. So it's like 30 minutes before the market closes. We're talking about 12:30. And she walks up and she's looking at my dino nuggets. And then she's like, oh my gosh, look at these dino nuggets. And then she turns around and she shows me her fanny pack. And they're just covered in dino. It's like a dino nugget print all over her fanny pack. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's serendipitous, isn't it? I was like, what you should do is you should buy this dino nugget. And for $1 more, I can make it into a keychain. And you can put it hanging off your fanny pack there. And she's like, yes, it is meant to be. And I was like, yes, let's make it happen. Is this the one is this the broken one? No, this is the one. Is it? Are you the broken one? No, okay. So the dino nuggets are real popular. So I'm going to take, okay, so I've got the, okay, so this is my last plush, but this is the Big Twist plush. And this one's in mustard, so I'm going to make some dino nuggets with this. These are going to be the medium-sized ones. Actually, yeah, no, that's pink. Anyway, so I have this. So I got this specifically to make dino nuggets with, but for the keychain ones, I'm going to use the Velvety Smooth by Yarny. Let me see. Do I have any right here? What is this? Where's my whole? Is it here? So this is what I was using for. Yeah, I think it's right here. No, I don't have it with me. I don't have it handy. Oh wait, that's that thing I just looked at. Yeah, I don't have it handy, but the Velvety Smooth is basically the same colorway. It's called mustard as well, but I'm going to use, because it's thinner, I'm going to use that to make keychain dino nuggets. That's what I'm trying to say. My brain's not working 100%. And I'm trying to think if there's Any here? No. I got yarn piled all around me. It's like halfway, like, you know, you're a crocheter. I have a queen size bed. Half my bed is covered in yarn. Like, I go to sleep with my yarn next to me. Like, I snuggle with it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't snuggle with it. But still, it seems like, it looks like I do. And I've got a box of yarn there. And then I've got, like, this little setup, you know, because I'll lay up in my bed and I'll crochet while I'm going, you know, getting ready to go to sleep. I'll listen to an audiobook or something like that. So that way I'm not looking at a screen, you know, because I think when I look at a screen, it doesn't let me relax. So, and I don't like crocheting at night because I always make a mistake and I have to frog it back. But I'm crocheting at night. And so I'm trying to be better about it and then listen to an audiobook as I'm trying to fall asleep. So it's getting some used to, but I don't think looking at a screen while trying to go to sleep has been a good thing for me. But the listening to the audiobook is helping me relax and go to sleep. It gives my mind something to listen to instead of letting my mind go round and round and round and round. So that really, really works really well for me. So that's kind of what I've been doing lately. Well, anyway, I'm gonna bug on out and I'm going to see you guys later. I got to get dinner started soon. And it is going to be fish day. Yes, so I'm going to make fish for me and the new roommate. And so we're going to have whiting. And if you never had whiting, it's a really good fish. This is a fish that my other roommate wouldn't eat. Like I said, he would only eat Atlantic fish, and that kind of fell into mostly just Atlantic salmon. It was hard to find Atlantic cod. Um, but whiting is a Pacific fish. It comes from, you know, Alaska area. It's really quite delicious. It's really mild in flavor. Um, it's pretty good. I've prepared it several different ways, and it's very affordable. Like, you can buy a bag of whiting for about like 12 bucks, and you get about 5, 6 fillets inside. It's pretty good. So I'm gonna do that today, and that's kind of be dinner, and I don't know what else I'm gonna make with it. We might make mac and cheese. We've got the vegan mac and cheese, so we might make some of that to go with it. Actually, it sounds kind of good. To make salad. So anyway, but I gotta get ready to get dinner started. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna boogie on out. I hope to see you guys on Tuesday. And I need to be in the habit of making shorts to show off everything that I've made. Just getting to that habit of doing it. I was in the habit for a little while there, but then I got out of the habit. So I need to start getting back into the habit of doing those types of things. But learning how to edit shorts has been really an interesting thing. I need a video editor app of some sort to really figure out, like, you know, how to edit, because my phone doesn't have an editing app at all. So I've recorded stuff and it just doesn't really kind of, I don't know how to manipulate it to delete areas and combine areas, merge them together. I don't know how to do that. And I need to find a good one that's going to help me do that, you know, seamlessly. Because I can do it on my computer. Actually, I could do it on my old computer. I can't do it on my current computer. I haven't tried. But then I would have to download it from my phone onto that computer. I can try that. I can try that without having to download another app. Man, I hate. Enjoy your weekend. Um, And I guess hopefully I'll see you on Tuesday. Fingers crossed. All right. Bye, guys. Ta ta for now.